All right, everybody, and welcome. We're going to get started in just a moment. Let's see. All right, everybody, and welcome. We're going to get started in just a moment. Let's see. All right. Stop sharing my screen now. All righty. Welcome, beloveds. Welcome to this wonderful panel discussion I've been so looking forward to for the past month. I'm excited to bring to you my aroma sisters, as I call them, aroma specialists in this space in our own specialty. So those of you who are here, I thank you and I welcome you for being here. I welcome all of you who watch the replay. And if you like what you're hearing during this presentation, this panel discussion, make sure to give us a thumbs up and a like and comment and bring on your questions. And if you're new here, before we get started, I am Dani, also known as Natural LID. I am a social worker and an aromatherapist, and I marry the two to simplify the use of aromatherapy for overall wellness, for home users such as yourself, for beginners and or caring professionals, the social workers, counselors, etc., to utilize for ourselves and or to help our clients to complement the services that we provide. So super excited about today's discussion. You're in for a treat. We're going to be talking about the use of essential oils from, again, everyday wellness to the use of essential oils with chronic conditions, and also if you're a caregiver for a person with chronic pain. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on our esteemed guests, I call them my aroma sisters. First off, we're going to start with, I'm going to bring to the stage Sean. Hi, Sean. Thank you for being here. To tell you a little bit about Sean, if a traditional medicine has failed you, you want to hear from Sean today, y'all. She specializes in supporting women navigating chronic illness. She offers holistic alternatives to traditional medicine, guiding you towards a wellness journey. So thank you for being here, Sean. Next to the stage, we're going to bring Dr. Sheila. Woo-hoo! Hi, Dr. Sheila.
Hello.
Dr. Sheila, she helps women of all ages deal with thyroid-based conditions. She has a PhD in natural medicine. She focuses on natural health lifestyle coaching to go along with that, right? Particularly aiding women of all ages, right? And last but not least, we're going to bring to the stage my Lee April. Hi, Lee April. Lee April is a caregiver extraordinaire, okay? She is a dedicated giver to her son with sickle cell. She extends her expertise to help caregivers dealing with chronic pain. So, you're going to join us today, ladies and gentlemen, to hear our stories, get inspired, receive some good tidbits, some good nuggets to transform your life out of the clutches of chronic illness and being a caregiver and just utilizing essential oils for your overall well being. So, welcome, ladies. I'm super excited to have you today.
Thank you
So
so
happy to be
much,
here.
Danny.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you. So happy to be
Oh,
here.
oh, well, thank you, thank you. This was a long time planning. We set the seed out, what, a little over 30 days ago, and we said let's make it
Mm-hmm.
happen. And I love it.
Yes.
Love my Roma
Yes.
sisters. I put out the call, and you guys answered. So I'm like, yes.
Yes. And I just want to say thank you for providing this opportunity because it just brings us all together in the same space and we get a chance to really talk to others and let them see what we're doing for the community. So this is a real privilege.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hmm.
I thank y'all for saying yes to the call, right? Absolutely. So, what we're going to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to have this panel discussion, and I'll be asking you some questions of the panelists, and feel free to drop your questions in the chat, if you will. For those of you watching, and if you watch the replay later, for sure, make sure you can put your questions in the comments as well. So, we're going to get started. So these are just introductory sort of questions to start us off with. And um, I'm going to start to my right. And to my very first right is Sean. So I'm going to ask you, what inspired you to delve into the aromatherapy and the use of essential oils? Like, you can share your personal story or a transformative experience or something like that.
Well, it was my personal experience with chronic illness that I developed about 20 years ago, um, where was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And for those who don't know, that is a chronic pain condition.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, a lot was not known about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a struggle to get answers, to get assistance, to just be heard about it, And I suffered for a long time before I finally found relief from natural medicine
Okay.
and from, the use of essential oils, aromatherapy, and just looking at health and wellness from a holistic standpoint. Um, and so that inspired me to want to help others because I know that there are millions out there that are suffering. And just like I suffered.
Right.
And they need a voice, they need to be heard, and they need options. So that's what I do. I provide those options for individuals and help them to see that they can take charge of their health and that there's other things out there that can help them.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. And we are all here in this space and doing what we do to help others. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to start on my lower left. Miss Lee April Burton, you want to answer the same question, sweetheart? What inspired you
Yeah.
to delve into the aromatherapy, essential oil wellness in your story?
Well, mine just pretty much started by me suffering from depression. And I was, learning more about essential oils. But then I found out something really interesting, which I learned that essential oils could also support with the inflammation and pain and other chronic illnesses. And that's just the beginning. That's the tip of the iceberg. But it drove me into wanting to learn more about essential oils and how they can help my loved ones. But then I also knew that because of the medication, there could be, well, I learned that there may have been a contraindication. So that's what sparked my whole journey. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm where I'm at today. That was my beginning story. Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Most definitely. And I could salute you for what you do and caring for others, even beyond caring for somebody in your immediate family, for sure. And Dr. Sheila, can you answer the same question, dear?
Yes. Um, with me, my journey began a long time ago. I always knew about essential oils all the time, but I just didn't know how to use them.
Okay.
And I learned about essential oils. I got acquainted with them through my naturopathic doctor, what was through the receptionist there that worked at her office.
Okay.
And they had essential oils on the counter, and she showed me peppermint oil, and I didn't know what it was. I took the oil home and kind of smelled it and worked with it.
Uh-huh.
And it really, I'll say that I put it on topically
Okay.
with the carrier oil, and I
Uh-huh.
could just feel just my energy uplifting, mood boosting. I mean, immediately. And it really helped me with some conditions that I was going through at the time.
Okay.
And so it made me want to get more involved with essential oils and also show what I've learned to my family, with my family, because I love essential oils and it helped me so much that I just wanted to share it with other people.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I think we all have the sentiments of wanting to share with others. And I'll say a little bit about my story to add to it. So to piggyback off of that, everybody who don't know me and those of you do, you've heard this story before. So, my path leading to aromatherapy led with my past health challenges. When I was younger, growing up, I had a number of health concerns, particularly with asthma and eczema, right? That led me in and out of the doctor's office and in the emergency room in particular, right? Every spring and summer, I was going through something with my asthma. And with the eczema, you go to the dermatologist, all they give you is creams and tell you to go home and have a nice day. So, fast forward, um, I was introduced to, I had an episode in college and was told I needed to take an allergy test, learned that I was allergic to all these different things. Fast forward some more, ran into a natural health doctor who told me about the use of supplementation, right? And also, they had a component of their company because there was a nutrition company that utilized essential oils, right? And then the brand ambassador for the essential oils was not only an aromatherapist, she is a master herbalist. So, long story short, she came to where I am in the Midwest. She had a weekend retreat, talk about utilizing essential oils. And at that time, I didn't have a clue, y'all, right? I thought using essential oils was the aerosol sprays and the plug-ins. I didn't know none of that. But by the time that weekend retreat was over with, I was hooked. She had a school that she was starting. I said, sign me up because I don't know
Wow.
what I'm doing. In the mix of me being in school, like you, Dr. Sheila, I wanted to share with my community. So I started off sharing with my faith family. They was my first students. And 6 years later, I've given over 50 presentations about the use of essential oil. Then I broadened it out and brought it here to you on YouTube last year. So I think we share similar passions about
Hmm.
wanting to share the knowledge that we have based on the experiences that we have, first off to help ourselves, then to help our loved ones, and then to expand that out into the community, right?
Right.
So definitely a passion of ours. And let me say hello to our audience who is in the chat. Hello, Black Women Build Wealth. Good evening. Thank you for being here, dear. We so appreciate
Hello.
you.
Nice.
Uh, yeah. So just to get started, we're gonna have some round robin discussions, and now we're going to talk a little bit about each one of our specialties, so to speak. You heard me talk about each of their specialties and their backgrounds. You heard what brought them here. So now I'm going to start with Sean. So in supporting women with chronic illness, what special alternatives do you have or recommend when traditional medicine fails you, right? Because you talked about that, um, utilizing traditional medicine just wasn't working for you. How do you guide individuals to the wellness journey, and what does that look like?
Well, I feel, as I stated, that a holistic approach where we integrate the mind, body, and spirit is very important. So I emphasize that. Um, and it's through a number of um, strategies that I use. So that would be personalized aromatherapy regimens. And of course, everybody's individual experience with chronic illness is unique.
Yes.
So I
Mhm.
focus on creating personalized aromatherapy regimens and, different essential oils that would best suit their specific needs and preferences. But it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't stop there. There's also lifestyle adjustments. What changes can be made in their daily routines? Um, Nutritional guidance. You know, it,
Mhm.
it, there's certain supplements that may be suggested that could complement their diet that they already have. And also, I feel like community support is very important because chronic illness can be isolating, and so I do encourage my clients to join our supportive communities, whether it's with me online or local, because that way they can actually have a sense of belonging and they can share their understanding with other individuals.
Right,
Wow.
right. Absolutely. That community is so important. So you don't
Yeah.
feel like you're alone. You know,
Right.
when I was going through the process of redeeming my health or having a better quality of health, and you don't have anybody else in your space who's going through the similar things, which I didn't, right? I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
anybody who was going through asthma, or eczema that could help me in a natural way. And I was the only one. So I love the fact that you have community and want that sense of community for those that you know that you serve, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
that brings, I thank you for bringing that up, which brings me, I'm gonna jump a little bit, I'm gonna jump to Dr. Sheila because you said something important, Sean, when you're talking about supplementation.
Yeah.
So the lifestyle thing, and Dr. Sheila, you are all so familiar with that with your background
Mm-hmm.
in natural medicine. Could you share some insights on how specific aspects of utilizing essential oils can help with research, coupled with the idea of um, your lifestyle change? Because you have some practice with that. Could you share that with us?
Um, well, just as Sean was saying, that everyone is different when they use essential oils. When I work with clients or family members, if they are on any type of prescribed medication, I tell them not to stop taking their medication, to still continue to take their medication the doctor has told them to take. What I offer to them is a complementary therapy. So we're using the essential oils along with um, the prescribed medication that they are using. But there is some caution there too when using essential
Mm-hmm.
oils. You have to be very careful of the grade of oil, the therapeutic grade versus cosmetic. So it's a lot of different things that you have to look into when you're starting using essential oils.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in dealing with lifestyle, specifically for thyroid therapy, with my clients, I specifically speak of lifestyle of stress related, um, to learn to relax,
Mm-hmm.
because as a person becomes stressed out, their hormones, their cortisol hormones, that stress hormone will really activate.
Right.
So it's best to be stress free if possible, and that essential oil helps with stress,
Yeah.
um, to basically relax. That's what I try to teach my clients, to relax through meditation, through journaling. Just for an example, is what I do for lifestyle practices.
Okay, awesome.
Hmm.
Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
sharing that, and thank you for mentioning about your specialty. She's talking specifically. You heard her say about thyroid, and
Mm-hmm.
re-emphasizing that Sean was talking about individuals with fibromyalgia. Correct? All right. So just so everyone is clear about that. So I thank you for sharing that. And we don't realize how much lifestyle plays into that, right?
Right.
Because complementary, you need something else besides essential oil, because essential oils can aid you and they definitely can help you, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you have to look at the whole lifestyle of the person and not just put a band-aid on a situation where there may be some other issues going on as well, right?
and and I want to say too,
Yeah,
excuse me, Danny, is
yeah,
that you when you're dealing with you working with a client, you have to let them know they can use that essential oil throughout their daily life. They don't have to set a certain time to use it. Like I'm only going to use this essential oil on Monday, for an example.
Mm,
They can
uh-huh,
use it daily.
uh-huh,
They don't
yeah.
have to wait for a special occasion. And
right,
sometimes people think that I can only use it when I have a massage. No, you don't. You can use
Oh,
it
okay.
every day. You could put the oil on topically yourself and use every day. It doesn't have to be part of a massage, for an example.
right. Or when you're going through something,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It
Right.
can be a wellness routine, which I talk about. Simplify using the essential oils as a preventative measure or
Right.
overall wellness habit. You don't have to wait till something happens before you say, "Oh,
Right.
I use my essential oils now." No, you could utilize them like Dr. Sheila said every day, or not just for a
Hmm.
massage. And it's interesting that you said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that up. I'm gonna
Hmm.
say hello to one of our other aroma. Hi, Arlene. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Appreciate
Hi,
you.
Arlene.
So wow. So thank
Wonderful.
you for sharing that. I think that we all
Mm,
learned, for this process, even when you were introduced to essential oils, you needed something else to go along with that.
right.
Right, you needed some other modality, be like you said, journaling or meditation
Mhm.
or supplementation, like Sean mentioned.
Hmm.
It's something else to go along with it. So they're wonderful by themselves, but it can be an added complement to what you're else you need in your life. So getting to that
Right.
now, my Lee April Burton, you as a caregiver, right?
Right.
Caregiver of your wonderful son. And for those of
Hmm.
you who don't know, Ali April, she is dedicated, y'all. She is streaming live from us. You're actually, if you don't mind me
Yes.
sharing, in
Uh-huh.
the
Yes.
in the hospital,
Right.
um,
Right.
with
Hmm.
your
I'm at the
son.
Children's Hospital right now. Yeah, in like a conference room.
Oh,
He's actually in his room right now, so I had to seek out a room to come and speak to y'all about this journey of caregiving, and it's very important for us caregivers to care for ourselves. But when we have somebody that we have to take care of, like especially with sickle cell disease, it's really a critical and um, I don't know why the word flamboyant came up, but it can change in the drop of a dime. And so when you have practices and habits that can support you while you're at home, like you said, a wellness cabinet, that can
mm-hmm.
really stave off um,
Hmm.
these crises, what we call when you have these, and to keep us from being in the hospital. So yeah, that's where yeah we in here live.
I so appreciate you sharing that, because
it
you to let you know it's real. You can be
is.
utilizing even as a caregiver. You need that for
Yeah.
yourself and those. And having said that,
Hmm.
what strategies have you found to be effective for managing like your physical and emotional health, being a caregiver and utilizing essential oils?
Yes. Wow. Um, so, having a daily regimen is a goal. I'm not always able to do it, but that's definitely at the top of my mind.
Okay.
Um, uh, Using things that are going to keep me like Dr. Sheila mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
in a balance. And Sean, everybody, she said mind, body, and spirit. Well, keeping all of that in alignment is so important. Essential oils will keep your mood. Well, they can help support keep your mood stabilized and at a balanced place. But then also eating as a caregiver, let me tell you, we ain't gonna eat that good. We're not gonna eat very good out here. You're in the hospital. Fortunately, we have the benefit of being at the Ronald McDonald House. But even then, you have to provide your own foods. And then when you're at the hospital with your child, you still have to provide for yourself. And the quickest thing is a McDonald's around the corner. So, what are you going to do? Well, you want to make sure you incorporate some kind of supplementation that's going to help you in that process, because we're not always going to eat as healthy as we would like. And it really does. When I can tell that when I don't take my supplements, I am
Mm-hmm.
off. My mood is off. My belly is bigger. I feel bloated. I'm heavier. But when I'm on them, it really does help. So just using my oils, journaling, reading my Bible, just really making sure I take that time out for me, even if it's just 5 minutes. And I don't always get that, like I said, but it's definitely a goal. And not then don't give up. Do not give up. That's so important, because we can be like, okay, I'll never achieve that. But no, when you have a good habit of making the effort, then it'll all pay off in the long run. A little bit of something will add up to something more in the long run. So, yeah,
Right, right. But thank you for sharing that. And just a disclaimer here, we're not quote unquote medical doctors per se, right?
right.
But this is what we do and what we found to be helpful, right? And definitely consult a naturopathic doctor, or someone specializing and utilizing essential oils in both before you start a regimen. So I just want to point that out. And you're getting some love in the chat, Lee April.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, yes. We definitely send Lee April some love. And you said something important, Lee April, which leads me into my next question to talk about specific practices and rituals that we may have. I know, for example, I mentioned on previous lives there is a frankincense and lavender essential oil. I have a ritual to use before I walk out the door, y'all, and
Mm,
putting oils on the bottom of my feet because it is cold and flu season. And I
yes,
want to be armored, if you will,
exactly.
before I go out amongst a number of people. So that's one of the rituals that I have incorporated into my life, using roller
Wonderful.
bottle with frankincense and lavender, and putting essential oils on the bottom of my feet. Are there any specific rituals that you ladies would like to share, that you do on a daily basis that help? You might have touched on some of it a little bit, but anything else you want to elaborate on? And I'll let anyone go. Go
I
ahead.
like what you said, Daddy. You know, you get yourself prepared for these cooler months. We have to do something. There's a lot of cold and flu going around. So if there's something that's going to help us, then absolutely. So one of the things that I have found is, even as I'm taking my morning routine of doing my facial care, I put the oil like frankincense. I know the quality that it has for the skin, so I add it in my daily cleaning, my facial routine, and I get that aroma, uh, that big breath of aroma. I put it in the back of my neck, behind my ears. I almost do it like it's perfume,
Yeah,
but
on your
it
meridian
definitely,
points. Yeah.
yes, it definitely sets the tone for the rest of the day. So focusing on the head, the cerebral area, for that frankincense, yes, need that.
Thank you for sharing that. So,
Hmm.
want to go next, Sean?
Well, for me, it would be getting my diffuser started in the mornings,
Okay.
um, and it's finding my peace, and it changes for me as far as my blends that I'm drawn to. But right now, it is anything with a lang.
Okay.
That's what I'm drawn to, and it grounds me. It gets me in a state where I'm ready to take on the day.
Okay.
So I definitely um, am big on having a diffuser, and I have one in each room.
Me
So
too. Me
Hmm.
too.
I used to.
Uh-huh.
So I
Awesome.
have a question, Sean. Elang on in the morning will get you going.
it grounds me because
Oh, okay,
I tend to in the mornings, especially if I've had like a rough night,
okay.
um, and thinking about being anxious about what I have to do for the
Mhm.
day. You know, I know it sounds a little different,
No,
but
it doesn't.
that's what I
No.
need to,
And that's why essential
yeah.
oils are so beautiful because they can be catered to everybody's need. So this is
Mhm.
why we're having this. Everybody is so different in their own right. Like I was thinking using
Mhm.
lavender at nighttime when I go to sleep because sometimes I know I don't get a good night's sleep, but I know when I'm dreaming, and I wake up rested. That's because I used that lavender the night before.
Yeah.
So that just works for me, but lavender doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. And that's why it's important when we encourage those to work with aroma specialists if you want to utilize essential oils, because we have the background and the knowledge to bring together for you information to share with you how you select your essential oils, right?
Right,
And which ones you can use. We know every essential oil is not for everybody.
right.
We know that it's just simply not. So working with individuals such as us, aroma specialists, is very key and beneficial for people. And if you want to go ahead, Dr. Sheila, do you have any special sort of routines that you have?
Yes, I do. I use essential oils during the day, specifically as a perfume. So I have certain blends that I use that I make myself, and also that are pre-made. They have a oil called Whisper, has ylang ylang lavender in it, and so that's like a
Mm,
perfume where I put on the
Okay.
back of my neck, and also at the pulse points in the arm there and the wrist area. And I
yeah.
specifically also use essential oils at night.
Hmm.
Uh, I hate to say I don't always use a diffuser. I don't
Uh-huh.
always use a diffuser, but I do use put the oils in my hands, and I will breathe into my hands and smell them. I
Yeah.
take lavender and I put it on the back of my neck. I also put it in a bottle, a spritz bottle with water, and I'll spray it on my pillows,
Mm,
lavender.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that. And to prepare myself for bed, I also use lemongrass and frankincense. That's a blend that I use, and I put that on the thyroid area. That helps
mm,
to calm me down. I also get ready for bed at night. So
Okay.
I basically use lavender, lemongrass, and myrrh and frankincense. That's that
mm.
blend I was talking about. And the
That's
Okay.
lavender I
awesome.
also put on my feet at night as well.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
So
now and again, Dr. Sheila, I
Ooh.
need to write that one down.
Uh-huh.
you're gonna have to give us that so we can put
Yes.
that.
Yes,
Hmm.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah,
Isn't it crazy? I don't know
absolutely.
how, if you guys had a response to what she was saying, the ylang ylang and the I mean, did you guys have a natural response? Could you remember what that smelled like as she was describing it, as she was talking about it? Did it come to you? Because it
It
definitely
did.
came
Hmm.
to me. That
Yes.
was
It
really
did.
interesting.
And I
Yeah.
have to be
Yeah.
honest, Ylang was not one of my very first favorite essential oils. It had to grow on me. I was
Yeah.
like, for me, I guess I'm
I
more of a
love it.
floral, citrusy, and Ylang is
Yeah.
a different. When you smell it, you know it. You know,
Uh-huh.
you know
Hmm.
it when you smell it.
Right.
So it was one of those, but now I find that I put it in my blends and I like it. It's sort of
Yeah.
a calming essential oil. So it had to grow on me. And that may be the same with those that you're working with, right? You know, utilize essential oils, and the very first time someone might be like, I don't like this.
Mhm.
Or certain essential oils, people like certain smells or not. And we
Yeah.
know that essential oils is more than just the smell, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
But
Mhm.
let's be honest, not all smells are attracted to all people, or
That's right.
fragrances or essences of essential oil. So let's be honest about that.
Mhm.
Um,
That's the truth.
which, which brings me to we're going to move into thank you, Carolyn Phyllis. She said, great information, ladies.
Mhm.
And
You're
we're going to
welcome.
get to the chat questions in a moment. But you mentioned something about working with individuals. So you and Sean touched on that a little bit. I wonder if you could revisit that for a moment. So we all have our specialties. Sean, you mentioned you work with individuals with fibromyalgia. Could you walked us through, or maybe you want to add to it or just recap, um, what it looks like when you work with individuals who particularly have, you mentioned you have fibromyalgia, but you also work with people with chronic illnesses as well. What does that look like when you're providing or serving others with chronic illness or fibromyalgia and utilizing essential oils? Could you walk us through that?
Yeah, certainly. So it number one, I think empathy, understanding, and education is key.
Mm.
Um, so it starts out with an initial consultation and a very rigorous assessment because I feel like it's necessary to understand each individual's unique story. Um, so I listen to their experiences, what are their challenges, what are their goals, and it helps me to be able to develop a plan that addresses their specific needs. Um,
Mm.
and in that plan, number one is having educational resources available about aromatherapy, about essential oils, because we know safety is key. Um,
Right.
and
Yes, ours.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it gives individuals power, so to speak, so that they can make um, informed decisions about
Mm-hmm.
their health and well-being. And once I provide that information for them, then they're not left alone. There's regular check-ins because adjustments may have to be made. What's
Right.
working, what's not working, right? So have to monitor their progress and make those adjustments. And when they have those wins, to celebrate those wins,
Mm-hmm.
um, because that emotional support and that encouragement is, uh, I think, it's a huge part of just holistic health as a whole. Um,
Mhm.
so just creating that safe space for them to be able to express themselves, because I know what it felt like to not
Yes.
have that, you know,
Right.
um, to to go to a space where you were going for help and you got turned away. This is what I experienced, and so um, that is something that I want to change and want
Mm-hmm.
to give individuals hope and confidence that somebody is there on this journey, because that's what it is. It's a wellness journey.
Yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
sharing that. It absolutely is. I want to say hello to someone jumping in the chat. Hey, let's talk about it with Myra. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Um,
All righty. So, same question,
mm-hmm.
Dr. Sheila. What when individuals working with you, what could they expect, and what does that look like when you're sharing with others or
When I'm
serving?
when I'm sharing with others, as I've said before, I don't tell anyone to stop taking their prescription medication, but I work with them as far as dealing with their emotional well-being and learning to relax more, practice more self-care with the use of essential oils. So that's how I work with my clients. Um, I want to say that in essential oils, a scientific approach in essential oils is that it's so hard right now to have for people to come. What I'm trying to say is it's hard to come up with a case study of using essential oils because it is so different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And in working with essential oils, it does help. It does help the person that uses it because it does crosses that blood-brain barrier, and it works in the limbic system of the brain where memories are stored.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't, essential oils won't erase the memory at all of that emotion that's attached to that memory, but it will help the person to think of the memory in a more positive outlook.
Mm,
And
Right.
so
very
that's what
nice.
I try to do when I work with my clients. I work with them through, like I was mentioning before, the journaling, the meditation, aroma tapping, to help
Hmm.
them to release those emotions, to think of things more in a more positive light.
Right, right. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Yes, so scents are associated with memories, and you can create new memories with the use of using essential oils, right? Positive
Right,
memories,
Hmm.
right.
right, to help you. And I thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Sheila. You mentioned about the case studies, and so all of us as being aroma specialists, we have gone through case studies where you've actually about the research, you find in the research that works and what essential oils work for what. So that's what aroma
Hmm.
specialists and aroma uh, therapists bring to the
Hmm.
table. We have that background, we have that knowledge, we have that expertise behind us to say, this is what we've researched, this is what we've practiced, and this is what we know. And we can pivot and change based on whether or not something is working or not. Like Sean mentioned, that you might need to change in the middle of something if something
Right.
doesn't work for somebody. So thank you for bringing that up. And
Hmm.
Ali April, same with you,
Yeah.
sweetheart. If you want
Yeah,
to say,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. When I work with people, I believe, like it was mentioned already, that group is so important. Um, Being that there are many caregivers, but you still feel alone in that journey while you're caring for others or you're caring for your loved one. One of the group of people that I really focus on is stay at home caregivers because sometimes, most times, we weren't expecting to be in this situation. And
Right.
so when they know that they're being heard and supported, then it really opens up a gateway of connection. And so that is so important, being able to connect and talk to those caregivers and find out what's going on and how they can be supported, how to navigate the hospitals, how to navigate the emergency room. Those are all very important. How to connect if you're married, or it affects you as a married couple, or it affects you if you're a single parent. I mean, these are the situations we're living in today, and it really gets serious if you sit back and think about it. But I also want to encourage, and I teach my clients how to build resilience, how to be strong through different situations, and that's where that self care, that everything that we're all talking about today, that's what we're all supporting. But it's just going to be used in a different way, in a different setting. And so just talking to these individuals and finding out what their needs are, and making sure that they have educational resources, support, uh, you know, uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just providing that group setting for them to be able to talk and work things out, even share their stories, because um, a lot of times we don't feel heard, and that was already mentioned by those who suffer from chronic pain. They don't feel heard. They go into the hospital. I can speak specifically to somebody who has suffered from chronic pain. They'll go into the hospital, present, and the doctors will look at them, or nurses, or whoever, and they will look at them, and it's like, I don't believe you. And they'll have this look of disbelief on their face, or they'll make them wait for hours in pain, and that's
Hmm.
not okay. So, being an advocate, us caregivers have to learn how to advocate for our loved ones and know what they need, and find out from those loved ones what's really going on, so that we can speak up for them and be their voice. So there's so
Right.
much, there's a lot involved in it.
Well, I thank you for bringing that up. I want to touch on something that you said. And for those of us who you just joined us, thank you for joining us. Hello to Case Mobile Notary. Thank you for being here. But you said something importantly, April, about being, because for those of you who just joined us, Lee April is in a hospital facility for her son. And, being a caregiver, how you mentioned about your role with the healthcare community and the use
Mhm.
of essential oils. How has that been for you? I mean, has it been receptive? Has it been like, we don't do that? What does that look like?
You know what? It just depends. There are certain hospitals that do not allow for the essential oils to be in there. So there's ways around that. We can take a piece of cotton ball and put it onto the gown if somebody's in the hospital. You can. There's always something to go around. So, for instance, there was one young lady I met with, and she's actually going through a process of having sickle cell removed. It's a therapeutic. It's a new therapeutic curative therapy that has just come out. And she said,
Hmm.
well, they don't really appreciate me having the diffuser in here, but she could just open it up and sniff from the bottle. They don't mind me doing that. Or she can take it and put it onto like a wooden stick or a cotton ball, and that's just fine. They don't mind me doing that. And I think what has happened is they don't. She's doing much better than she would. She's doing much better than they had expected because she was using, and it's just something really simple. It doesn't have to be really extravagant. So I don't know if that answers the question you were asking, but as far as the healthcare community, yeah, we do want to talk to our doctors and stuff, and let them know what we're doing. Just like Dr. Sheila said, we're looking to integrate and help these individuals learn how to support themselves, not take over the industry, because really we want to marry the Eastern and Western medicines. The Western is going to be good for, finding out what's going on with the body, but then the Eastern is going to help them, bring things in alignment in a more holistic way.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for, yes, you did. You answered the question about working with individuals, and you mentioned a key word. I think both of you use empower or power.
Hmm.
Empower those of you working with, and that's what I bring to the
Oh,
table.
okay.
you
Hmm.
know, helping individuals who have no knowledge about using essential oils. You can use it simply. And you said something important, Lee April, about having essential oils. They don't necessarily want you to have, maybe, depending on where you are, and a diffuser,
Depending
right?
on,
But there are things
right,
that, as a beginner,
hmm,
I could teach you. You could take something. This is a
right.
secret, y'all. I'm sharing my secrets today. You could take a
Oh,
you can take a cotton ball, literally. You
right.
can take a cotton ball, put 2 drops on it, and for those of us ladies, put it in your brassiere and keep it moving.
Yes,
You
right.
still have that aroma effect
Yes.
and all the therapeutic properties that go along with utilizing essential oil. Nobody even has to
Hmm.
know.
Nobody
You
has to
know,
know. Hmm.
either you being a caregiver, them, a person being in your presence will be affected by the essential oils that you have
Yeah.
on.
I just
I'll
have
repeat
one
that.
story to share. Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no,
I
I was
was,
gonna say,
I
yeah,
was
but I was
just
gonna
thinking.
say,
Hmm.
uh-huh.
I'm so sorry. I keep cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking. I just had this other experience where my son was in the hospital a couple of years back, and I actually bought his diffuser because I was worried about all the germs coming into the room. So we just diffused, and the doctor or the nurses and the doctors, they was loving it. They were coming in and then spending more time than usual. And then they would keep coming back and popping up, So it just depends. And then when we were transferred out to another adult hospital, they actually had essential oils on the floor. The patients just had to ask for it.
So
Mm.
it just
Hmm.
depends, and that's wonderful. And so if
Yes,
you're in a space
but
that
they
can
don't
have
know
it,
how to
go ahead.
use it though. That's the only problem. They didn't really know how to use it.
Yeah.
So I was
Mm-hmm.
And
like, man, what can I do? I need to help these people.
exactly. And us
Mm-hmm.
being aroma specialists, and that's my
Hmm.
passion. If you don't know how to utilize essential oils, they can be used from a plethora of things from A to Z. We know that,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And I enjoy sharing about how to utilize essential oils simply, just like I mentioned about the cotton ball techniques. Everybody doesn't have a diffuser, might not want to invest in one,
Right.
right? And I enjoy teaching the basics. Five things you can utilize essential oils that you don't have to be an aroma specialist to learn how to use. Because sometimes it can be a little intimidating, right?
Yeah.
It can be, you have this little bottle of stuff and you're like, what do I do with this? This is too much. And then you just might put it down to the side and you don't use it. And so I enjoy sharing, folks. Now pick that bottle up. Let me show you how to use that, and particularly for us social workers or anybody who's a caring professional. You have that what I call compassion fatigue sometimes, or that
Oh, yes.
transference of emotions that you have when you're working with people. So share with my colleagues and social workers, this is how you can utilize essential oils in your practice, and share with the clients that you serve at the same time to empower them, like we talked about today, and
Right.
to give them the knowledge they need, equip them to share them with them how they can use it for themselves and their loved ones. So I
Mhm.
love this. So thank you so very much.
Love that.
All right, let's see. We all righty. So we talked about our specialties. We talked about our
Mhm.
background and what it looks like to be working with individuals. We do have some questions in the chat. I didn't forget about you. I'm going to start with Black Women Build Wealth. The very first question. Suggestions for winning non-medical daily regimen for caregivers, especially caring for young kids. Anybody want to tackle
Oh,
that?
suggestions for winning.
Yeah.
Non-medical daily regimen for caregivers. Oh, okay. I have to
Reread it. Yeah.
read this better. So she wants some suggestions for now. When she says winning, I'm just kind of curious what that means. But she's looking for suggestions for non-medical daily regimen for caregivers. That's what I'm getting. That's the gist of it.
Black women
Non-medical.
build wealth. You want to extrapolate on that? That's what we're thinking. But you can go ahead and answer based on what your interpretation of the question.
Okay.
Mm, I'm thinking
Medical.
she needs to create a regimen like in the morning, prepare her mind, get ready for the day. So one of the things that I find myself doing early in the morning is I check in with myself. How is my day gonna go? Sometimes I don't know. I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. I want to lay down. So if you need to stay in your pajamas, stay in your pajamas. I understand maybe working with young kids that may not be that easy because they always ready to go. But yeah, check in with yourself and see where you are. If anybody else has any suggestions, my kids were my kids they were what do I say? Um, they were very calm. So I don't know. It depends on what um, mm, I'm all tongue tied right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So if your kids are like if they're high energy, then you definitely want to try to get a good night's rest. But just really check in with yourself and see where you are that day. But then use oils. Eat a good, healthy meal. Eat light because kids are always on the go. But then something that I really thought of is using vitamins or supplements, being able to have something
Mhm.
that's really fulfilling and good for the body to keep you up and ready to go with the kids because you really have to check in with yourself and steal that time. You have to steal that time for yourself. So if you go for the bathroom break, go ahead and take that deep breath. Get that oil. If you use essential oils, pull them in there with you, have them tucked away in your pocket. You may have to just keep it on a cotton ball for the day and just take a deep breath, even take a time out, whatever the case is. It's just, even I don't know. I'm good. I'm big on music, and music kind of keeps me calm. So I listen to like a classical type, like lofi,
Mhm.
and it kind of keeps my mood down. So it just depends on who you are and how your mood is. Know yourself. I
Yeah.
don't
Most
know. What do
definitely.
you all suggest?
Yeah. She said that
Yeah.
was her interpretation. She said
Yeah.
yes. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What were you? Anybody want to add to that
Yeah.
conversation?
I was actually thinking about something that Dr. Sheila mentioned along with Lee April's comment. But speaking of mindfulness and meditation, and it only takes a few minutes. Once you learn that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and being present in the moment, and you can do it without anybody even knowing that you're doing it, right? And
Right.
um and I remember many years ago when I had my child, and being young, even thinking about the when she was a baby, and they used to always tell me, when she sleeps you sleep.
Mm.
So kind of use those time periods where that they are not as um, hyped up or more active, um, then you use that for yourself, and it only takes a few minutes. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have to listen to your body and what it needs.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for
Hmm.
that. You want to add anything to that, Dr. Sheila?
Yes, I agree with what everyone is saying, Sean and Lee April. I agree with everything about the meditation and knowing who you
Mhm.
are and what calls to you as far as essential
Yeah.
oils. And I was thinking if she's a caregiver and she's at home working and also caring for her loved one, she can put a mood boosting essential oil such as orange or
Mm.
lime,
Citrus.
citrus oil
Yep.
Yes.
in a diffuser while she's working, and that will improve the mood too, especially when caring for young kids. You have
Mm-hmm.
to have your energy up,
Yep.
so that would
Wow.
help with essential oils too. And I want to mention this as well because I have dealt with different clients that say, for instance, excuse me, and excuse me, in dealing with a citrus oil, they might say to me, "Well, Dr. Sheila, you giving me, say, for instance, orange. I don't like orange. I
Mm.
can't use this." But in working with someone in holistic health, such as the expert you see here, then we will know that there are different essential oils that are in that family of citrus
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
oils.
Right.
So even though orange is not for you or you don't like it, you could try lime, for
Yeah.
an instance. You could try grapefruit.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Hmm.
lot of different citrus oils, not just one.
Yeah.
So you that's where education comes in, as Sean was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Education comes in to learn and to know what
Mm-hmm.
oil is best suited for you for that day. And it could
Yeah.
change daily. You might not want orange or lime one day or grapefruit, but
Right.
you could try something else
Right.
in that
Right.
same
I'm also
family.
curious about
Mhm.
what it is, like what specifically she's referring to. Or do these children, are they special needs, or are they just is it just a child care? Like what is the details of this? And I think that's really important to go off of as well, in order to really know how to really help her have the success that she's looking for with using essential oils.
Absolutely. And that's when consultation comes in. We're working with an
Mm.
aroma specialist, and you get to delve into that. I don't know how much she wants to put here in the chat, but just to answer some of her question, I appreciate that. And um, you
Mm.
said something important. We're talking about, Sean, you mentioned about mindfulness and taking inventory of what's going on right now and just stopping. Nobody has to know that that's what you're doing mentally, to say, how am I feeling, why am I feeling this way, and perhaps just do a self check-in. And those of you who've been in the mindfulness courses, you know that that's what you do. You just in the present, you thinking, taking inventory. How's my body feeling? How's my emotions feeling? And you're
Mhm.
working through that, so you're not pushing it to the side. And then the adding with the use of essential oils can be helpful. Like Dr. Sheila said, some essential oils, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, some people don't like certain scents.
Right.
So an aroma specialist would know, right,
Yeah.
what oils are in the same family that can give you the same sort of therapeutic effects. So yeah, Black Women Build Wealth says amazing suggestions. Thank you so much. So we touched
Awesome.
on that. Thank
Good.
you,
Very
ladies.
good.
We have another question in the chat I want to get to, and keep the questions coming. Let's see. We have from our Caroline Phillips. She asks, please discuss what essential oils you use for sciatic nerve pain in the hips, back, and thighs.
Ooh.
Leandra got that. Lord have mercy. Absolute.
Woo! Let me tell you my story about sciatica. So one day I'm getting up out of bed, I'm doing my usual routine, and I just felt this little twinge in my back. It was nothing, so I brush it off, and I know my body's tired, but I'm just going on about my day. Lo and behold, later on that day, I felt this like huge pull or stretch or something, and I'm
Mhm.
stuck. I'm bent over, like, oh my God, husband, help me. So I
Right.
found that using turmeric goes deep and it relaxes those muscles and those tendons. That's what I believe because I can literally feel it going in along with using an oil that's called deep blue. And so that's my regimen. I use that one along with deep blue lavender because lavender has pain blocking um, uh, chemistry in it. So will not only will reduce that pain, but it will block it. It'll reduce that inflammation. I mean, but turmeric, boy, turmeric is like a carrier, and it'll take it down deep, and it'll just relax those muscles. And you would list, I literally felt that muscle relax and just calm down. It was amazing, but you have to stay with it because it only lasts for so long. It only lasts
Yeah.
for so long, so you have to keep putting it on, putting it on, putting it on. But that's my experience with that because, ooh, child, I will never forget. It's
I
unforgettable.
understand. Anybody who's been through sciatic nerve, and I've had it
Yes.
down your buttocks, and it goes straight down to the
Ooh,
back of your heel. You're like, oh.
yes, right.
So I
But
thank
we
you.
might add
Okay.
that she uses it safely. If you're going to use it topically,
Hmm.
then we also want to include that carrier oil.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Use it
Yeah,
neat.
Most,
yes,
yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Thank you for mentioning that. And you mentioned about turmeric. Now, I find
Hmm.
that some, depending on your area and depending on what
It don't
health food
smell
store,
good. Oh,
uh, it don't smell good. But
but
being
it
honest,
don't matter.
you don't care about the smell when you're in pain, right? But
Mm-mm.
I was going to say, depending on the area that you're in and you wanted to get to something fast, all
Mm,
I find that you can jump in here, ladies. Not all health food places or health stores have turmeric as one of their essential oil selection. They
right.
carry more of the general essential oils that the
Mm-hmm.
populations are used to, as far as um, just having it on display. I put it that, I know that they have only so much room to have essential oils. So that might be something if you're considering doing it to order special order, because she mentioned about the turmeric. But
Hmm.
one of the essential oils that is my go-to, and I was looking at my references here because I can't keep all this stuff in my head, y'all. So but one of my references mentioned about marjoram. Marjoram is a good one for the muscles. If you know anything, I always say M stands for muscles. So marjoram is a good essential oil. Or if you could use birch, birch. Birch might not always be one readily available. But marjoram, and what is another one? I would say peppermint. Peppermint is a good essential
Hmm.
oil, but you have to be mindful of that as well,
Mm-hmm.
because peppermint can't be utilized by all individuals, particularly if you're taking high blood pressure medications, right?
Exactly. Hmm.
So, again, that's why working with aroma specialists, aromatherapists is important, because we know where to look to say, I could recommend this to you and I could suggest this to you, but we need to have a consultation to see perhaps
Exactly.
what medications you might be going through, right? And I do the
Hmm.
exact same thing, Shine. I'll talk, see what your goals are, but let's see what medications you might be on.
Hmm.
Because we're depending on if you're any sort of medication, that rules out some essential oils right off the bat. It's like, nope, that's not
Mm-hmm.
essential oil that I would recommend for you. So safety is always key in using a carrier oil, and that's one of the things that I say all the time. Safety, safety,
Hmm.
safety is key with me when utilizing essential oils. But if I had to pick one, I would say marjoram, and that's probably more
Hmm.
readily available. Or
Yeah.
lemongrass. Lemongrass is another one. You might be
Mm-hmm.
surprised. It's another good one. So just to share that. All
Hmm.
right. Um, we have so hopefully that answered your question, Caroline Phillips. Look like we have another question for Caroline in the chat. It says, "Do you recommend using essential oils in the classroom with high school students?" Ooh, I'm gonna let
Hmm.
anybody been
Yeah.
Good.
anybody want to jump in here and answer that? I'll give
Actually,
my answer after y'all talk. Go ahead.
Well, I've been in the schools for a number of years, and in our area, we couldn't even use like the plugins um,
Mm,
because I guess you don't know what type of allergies they may have, um,
Mm.
things that they
That,
may not like, and it was a policy that you couldn't have. Well, I mean, with the candles, it's a fire hazard, but
I see.
as far as any type of thing with scents, it was it was not allowed. So I mean, that's a good question as far as essential oils in a diffuser, um, because, um, hmm, but
I
that's
think
what I
about
did not
something.
know about it.
I think
I,
about something I learned from you, Sean, was, okay, so you may not be able to have essential oils in the classroom, but if you yourself, as the instructor or the aide, actually have the essential oil on you, that may be very friendly. That may be very friendly. And the students who come around you, they may be able to get a whiff of that. And just walking around the classroom or whatever, it may calm that setting down in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I thought about that was the situation you told me about, like a funeral setting when the
yes,
death of some, yes. So I don't want to go too far into that, but I was just thinking about that. They can come in prepared themselves, have it on
right,
themselves.
Yes, and that's just
Yeah.
some things I
Oh,
was mentioning about the cotton ball situation. You could put in a
mm-hmm.
cotton ball,
Yeah,
put in your brassiere, they wouldn't even have to know about it. How many times
right.
do we wear perfume that's not therapeutic and the kids are still,
Hmm.
getting a wind or a whiff of it?
Yes,
So utilizing essential oils in a way that they, unbeknownst to them,
yes.
something light, something that you've researched, hopefully not too
Hmm.
strong, that would be calming for kids. And one off the top of my head is lemon. Lemon is not only,
Hmm.
antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, which we need in the school systems. I'm sorry, y'all, but kids can be germy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
But it's also good when kids are like studying and taking tests and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So lemon is
yeah,
is is
Yes.
multifaceted, and that's one of my suggestions for in the classroom if we're going to utilize it, like putting it on ourselves or putting it on our person as a teacher. I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Dr. Sheila? Were you going to add to the conversation?
Yes, yes. I was going to say that I know of a essential oil company that has actual small little essential oil bottles that elementary school children take with them for that are essential oil bottles that they could just clip on themselves on their backpack,
Mm.
lunch pail, or whatever, and take to school with them to help them with focusing. They have, the
Mm.
situations such as ADD or ADHD or whatever, something to help them to focus. So
Hmm,
those are specific essential oils for relaxation. I think there was another one for focus, and they
yeah.
Mhm.
take those with them, and they're small. They're like
Hmm.
5 milliliter bottles.
Right, which is
Hmm.
awesome, and I imagine, but they've also decided which one was best for their individual child.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So before they took one, I don't know what the variety of essential oils are, but we know that they're varied, and there's some essential oils that are recommended for children with ADHD, for example, to be calming. I'm just using that off the top of my head. So that's interesting. I had not heard of that. Had you ladies heard of that before? Lee April or Sean?
wow,
I don't know. I
Hmm.
I, I hadn't. Man, I
Mhm.
be probably because my children are school age, but I'm not really focusing on the children in school. Unfortunately, I should be,
My
but
children are
yeah, that
adults
would
too. I
make
just thought
sense.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make
Hmm.
sense. I think I've
Yeah.
seen little things. Maybe if the roller bottles, I would imagine, but yeah, I hadn't
Yeah.
really considered that.
yeah.
And
That's
Hmm.
the only thing that I had. Like, I'll encourage because I did like a couple of markets for back to school,
mhm.
and the essential oils that are for the kids for focus and for mood, like you said, Dr. Sheila, ADHD. Um, I would just encourage them to roll it on the bottom of their feet before school.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be really nice if they could actually have it there with them, test taking time and things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Just to add to that conversation, going back to my reference, y'all, because I don't be remembering everything. So, you mentioned, I just said, for example, ADHD and lavender and chamomile are two essential oils that are I know that are safe, friendly, safe for infancy to the elderly, right? That's one of
Mhm.
the things that I talk about specifically using, starting with essential
Right.
oils that are safe,
Hmm.
and then branch off into using ones. If you're so inclined, of those of you who are out there who want to know about using essential oils, but you don't want to become an aromatherapist or aroma specialist, but using specific essential oils just to start off with, that can cover all the systems in our body. And just going back to the ADHD example, I know lavender is safe, and the chamomile, Roman chamomile, is a safe
Mhm.
essential oil, no matter what age. So when you're
Oh.
talking to, you're thinking about utilizing essential oil for, like you mentioned, the roller bottle for the kids in the schools and then calming and stuff like that. Talking to a aromatherapist, we would know that, okay, these are some essential oils without knowing the whole history, if you're going to
Right.
use them. Because sometimes people, take what we say on these lives and you want to utilize them,
Right.
and you might not consult with an aromatherapist, but you need to know
Yes.
which essential oils is safe, relatively safe when used safely, okay,
Mhm.
from infancy to the elderly, so that if you do
Yes.
utilize them, you're not, harming yourself. So I wanted to point that out there. Okay. So yeah, Lady Caroline said yes, tell the truth. She probably talking about me talking about them kids in Germany.
Right.
Love the kids, but ooh wee. Um,
Ooh.
Lady Caroline said, thank you, ladies.
You're
You're more than
welcome.
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 More than welcome. So we're at the
Mhm.
top of our hour. If you have any
Mhm.
real questions, certainly put them in the chat. What I want to end with is, we talked a little bit about, we talked about our specialties and what we
Mhm.
do and what we offer individually, as you call you my aroma sisters.
Mhm.
Absolutely love talking about essential oils and all things health. If after this live today, where can um, people reach you if they want to work with you more after this live, or get more information, or where could they reach you, or what might you offer your audience today?
Mhm.
I'll start with Sean.
Okay, so um, I am also known as the Oil Whisperer, and that
Mhm.
is DA. That's my handle on Instagram. So you can find me there definitely. And the link that is scrolling across your screen um, is actually something that I invite all to go to. And it is a page where you'll enter your name and your email address. By doing that, and for watching this live today, I will be giving to all who go in and subscribe to that a free $25 gift card to be used on my website, where I have all of the natural health supplements and um, some essential oils as well on there. So that is available to everyone. It's my free gift saying thank you. And
Mhm.
if if anyone is that you know of, or if you are suffering with a chronic illness, reach out, because I'm here to help. I'm here to help you to see that your your health matters, and that there is relief, and that you can get help and comfort and understanding um, from me and the community that I'm a part of as well. So reach out, put that information into that website. It's not clickable now, but I know it will be in the notes section. And please do. I would love to work with you. And also, I'd love to get that $25 gift card out to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Nice.
sharing that. And um, you mentioned about the chronic illness, and if you know anybody, ladies and gentlemen, who suffers from fibromyalgia, to definitely refer them to Sean, because she not only the essential oils, but what has helped to share, what has helped her navigate from. And you said a profound number once before. You were taking how many medications before compared to today?
23. 23 medications. That's not pills, 23 pills, because some of them was more than one time a day, but 23 medications a day.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
Yeah.
So, you know anybody with fibromyalgia, she definitely has a long history and experience with utilizing essential oils along with supplementation to help you get to this point. Okay, everybody's results are different, but you have someone who has the expertise right here to help navigate you if you want to go the natural route. But thank you for sharing that, most definitely. Okay,
Mhm.
all righty. So next, let's see, have to my left. On my right, Dr. Sheila, you want to share, dear heart, with you?
Yes, I do. As you can see, that's my link tree there. You go on link tree, you will see my website. And on that website, I'm offering a free ebook. And that ebook is called Balancing Wellness. And it features information about anxiety, if you're suffering with thyroid issues, anxiety, weight control, and essential oils for
Mm.
support. So I have a doctorate in natural medicine and I specialize in lifestyle wellness, self care, emotional well being, and essential oils.
Oh,
So you'll find all that on the linktree.com. And you can also find me on Instagram on my mini blog, Sheila J Wellness, where I talk about a holistic health and wellness with the four pillars of wellness: physical, mental, spiritual. And I talk about that in my Sheila J Wellness. And then on essential resilience on Instagram is also my coaching site where I talk about thyroid support and emotional well being.
mm.
So you find me
Wow.
on Instagram and on Linktree.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing that. And just to reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, what brought Dr. Sheila to this space is your own thyroid issues that you were having, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
utilizing essential oils. So for those of us out there who might be suffering with thyroid issues, if you work with all people, not you said I mentioned about women, but you work with all individuals or all women. Let me specify.
I specifically work with women,
Okay.
all
So
women.
women of all ages, if you know anybody who has
Mhm.
particular thyroid issues or concerns, and also she incorporates the lifestyle piece to it as well. So I
Mm.
thank you for sharing this. I want to make sure that we get that information out there to everybody. So thank you. Is that
Thank
Molly
you.
April?
Hi. So yeah, so I'm currently in between websites. So I can be reached at burtonapril@ymail.com. As I had stated previously, my goal is to support the caregivers. Initially, when I began this journey, I wanted to be there for those who suffer from chronic illness. And I realized that I could reach more people through the caregivers. So I'm here for the caregivers, and in that consultation, there could be anywhere from a free essential oil to a blend to a formulated like body butter, something that, depending on what your needs are in particular. So if you're interested, you can definitely reach me at that email right there, Burton. Actually, the A is a little lowercase. I didn't correct Dani on that, but that's my fault. But it should still get you to the same place.
Awesome. So thank you for sharing that. So reach out to Lee April if you're particularly you're a caregiver or if you know anybody in the um, in the space of having sickle cell and
Oh,
also sickle
absolutely.
cell trait, right? Not
Yes.
just sickle cell, but perhaps even the trait that they might be.
Hmm.
Because you mentioned we didn't
There's
touch on
so
it
much
today.
education on that. There is
Yeah,
so much
it's
information,
so much
and
we didn't cover today, but stay
yeah,
tuned. There will be a part two to the
yeah.
future of aromatherapy with us ladies. So stay tuned. Don't
Hmm.
fret, everybody. We will have a part two, so we didn't go over it today, but um, anybody with sickle cell or sickle cell trait who may be experiencing any sort of chronic pain, and as a caregiver and or a caregiver, right?
Hmm.
Certainly reach out to Lee April. Um, and set up that
Yeah, set
one-on-one.
that one-on-one, yeah, so that I could find out what your needs are and see how to best serve you. Because really, you don't know unless you say anything, and whether we're even a match. Because maybe just by talking to me, I could refer you out to somebody else that would be of a better fit. So it's always good to take the first step to see how you could be benefited.
Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. And that's why we're here together. We're collaborative sisters that we
Yeah,
know our specialties, and perhaps everybody, we can't serve everybody. That's
yeah.
just not that's not possible. So if we know you working with us and that it's not a good fit, we know somebody with a more specific specialty. Like I know
Hmm.
Sean's specialty, I know Dr. Sheila's, I know Lee April's, and I can refer you to someone who is specializes in that and has experience in that.
Right.
Right? Right. So having said that, I myself I work with beginners, people who are new to utilizing essential oils, who are home users. You might have been interested and wanted to know how to use essential oil, but you don't know exactly what you're doing, right? And you just want that sort of Q&A. I'm gonna put my information on the screen here. I'm offering the opportunity to have a one-on-one with me, to talk about utilize essential oil. How might they benefit you? We'll go over what you want to use it for. Let's start off there because that's what the beginning stages of. What do you think that you might want to utilize essential oils for, right? And then from there, we'll determine whether or not, creating that blend, especially for you. And it might be just a one-on-one, or it might be something even further, because I do um, share that I have a course in aromatherapy for beginners and caring professionals. So it's just totally up to your needs. And for those who, I'm going to put it out there, for those who sign up for the one-on-one based on this live, I am offering a special blend for you. One of my favorites, which is lavender and frankincense. You can see
Mm.
it here. I love it's like one of my go-to,
Mhm.
one of my go-to essential oil blends, and I mentioned that I try not to do without when I'm walking out the house,
Right.
for
Love
sure.
it.
So
Hmm.
let me know. We have our one-on-one that you saw this live, and that was where um, you got the link from and made the appointment, and sure to get you this blend. If, like we mentioned earlier, this scent might not suit you. You're like, I don't like that smell. So we could come up with something,
Right.
something specifically for you. So that being said, is there anything? Let's see, we got some more comments in the chat. It says, great panel discussion. Learn a couple of things I could look into the future. Many thanks. Thank you, Black women, for being
Wonderful.
well.
Thank you.
As we wrap up, we have a question here in the chat that says, so where do you recommend to get turmeric from? I think that would be for you, Lee April.
Yeah, yeah, it's on. You can go to doTERRA. I can, do you, well, I'm like, could you reach out to me? Just reach out to me and I'll give you the direction on where to get it from. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I stand behind it because I know it's a good, there you go. There you go, Bert and April at ymail.com. I stand behind doTERRA. There's many, many wonderful uh, essential oil, reputable essential oil companies out there. But I know that I can stand behind doTERRA. I've used it for years now, and it's very effective. And I think you'll benefit greatly if you're looking for something in particular. And I think we should have a conversation. Mhm.
yeah.
That way we
Ab-
can find out what your needs are, and yeah, see if turmeric is going to be what best suits you. I don't know. Is our see? I see. I want to talk. I want to find out what's going on.
She want more. Get on a call with her. Do a one
Let's
on
Hmm.
talk.
one.
Let's talk, girl. Let's talk.
Do a one on one for
Hmm.
sure. We'll have our information in the description as we wrap up. Is there any parting words that you have, ladies, for our audience? I'll start with you, Sean, because you're to my right.
I think you kind of mentioned about us having a part two because there was a question that about when will we have the next webinar?
Hmm.
When will the next one be? Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
Mm.
Thank you for bringing
yay!
it up. Yes,
We
yes.
were
Thank you for
wondering for
bringing
that.
that up. Yes, yes.
I'm
So
glad. Really glad.
yeah, we're putting it out there. We do plan to have these. I think we didn't exactly say, I don't want to hone in and nail us to it just yet, but we do plan to
Okay.
have these regularly. We're
We
looking at our
definitely talked
schedule.
about it.
We're definitely looking into having these more regularly. And I've had all these wonderful aroma sisters on my
Right.
channel individually. And now I've been blessed to have you collectively. So I thank you for being
Oh.
here.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes. You had
Mm.
Dr. Sheila. Did you want to have any parting words as we wrap up our live today?
I haven't. Thank you so much for
Yes.
asking me to come on here with everyone, the Roma sisters, and I just enjoyed everything. And I hope that
Yes.
if people listening have got some knowledge on essential oils, and it just does my heart good that we can provide this information for you all that's listening.
Right.
Okay. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Okay, Miss Lee April, you have any parting words, sweetheart?
Yes, I want to thank you, Danny, for kind of helping us collaborate and put this together. But along with that, I just really appreciated hearing all of what you ladies have to say. I learned some things, and
Mm-hmm.
inside of my heart, I was like, "Where do I sign? How do I get a?" So, because we all, it kind of everything kind of overlaps, but at the end of the day, we want to kind of be individualized, I think. And so, for you caregivers who are dealing with, situations that you really didn't plan for, whether you did or not, let's get together and talk about some things and find out what you can benefit from. And I just really enjoyed myself here. I can't wait for the next one.
Mhm.
Oh, awesome. Which leads me to wrap up here and thank you for sharing that. You took the words right out of my mouth. I so look forward to the next live. Thank you for all of you who are in the chat and giving us questions and things. It gives us things
Mhm.
to think about and let us know that what we're doing is useful, right? We do this out of the passion,
Right,
compassion that we have for helping others. And
right.
when you show up and you have questions and you have comments, and let us know, okay, we're doing a good job. We're doing a
Yeah,
service. We know we're doing this because it is needed, right?
right.
And so I appreciate each and every one of you. I bless all of those your specialties. Again, everybody, the specialties will have links in the descriptions about each and every one of our guests here today. And I'll end in with this. Even I mentioned my link is at the scrolling at the bottom. If you get on a discovery call with me, we can talk about it. It might not even be a blend for yourself. I am
Mhm.
open to, having a group discussion about blends or teaching
Mhm.
about it. So it's certain we can explore that when we talk. Okay. So with that being said, again, I thank you very much, ladies, for being here. Thank you for our audience, and we're wrapping up the end of 2023, y'all. We're going into 2024. So the next time we
Mhm.
plan to get together will be in 2024. So all of you be safe this holiday season. I wish you a blessed rest of the year and even grand, exceedingly abundantly new year in 2024. And we look forward to having great things happen for you and for us. And with that being said, as I always say,
Mhm.
let us continue to learn, grow, and share together naturally. God bless you. I love y'all. Have a good
All right.
one and good night
Good
and
Good
happy
night.
new
night.
Thank
Good
you.
year.
Happy
night.
New Year.
Yeah, yay. Thank you. That's what we have. Say One more because a happy new year. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Good
Thanks
night,
for staying,
y'all.
Black Women Bill. Take care.
Yes, yes, yes. You're gonna. All righty. I'm gonna end the stream. Good night, y'all.
Good night.